Welcome back, everybody. 7:41 on this Wednesday morning. The Pulitzer Prize-winning 1619 Project is now a docuseries on Hulu.
Yeah, Brooke Thomas sat down with the project's creator, Nicole Hannah-Jones, and she joins us now to talk all about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, it was really cool to be able to sit down and talk to her. Such an important project, such a huge, like, constantly talked about project. You know, there are actually 6 episodes, all just examining the ways that the institution of slavery has impacted all aspects of modern-day America.
If you are not black in this country, you haven't been forced to think about all of the ways that this legacy is shaping the society that we live in. You can kind of go through your life and not ever have to examine that.
Nicole Hannah-Jones calls the 1619 Project the most important work of her life. Important and necessary. She says that's because instead of confronting the truth about the way our country was built, we are taught a story of American exceptionalism.
This is a land of equality, that anybody who wants to work hard can live the American dream. And of course, this project sits in opposition to that. It says, yes, we were founded on ideals of freedom, but the practice of slavery, we're on stolen land, and that matters.
What began as a New York Times Magazine collection of essays has already expanded into books, a podcast, and more. But she says this latest iteration might be the most expansive.
You will learn something in every episode of the documentary series. Even if you listen to the podcast, even if you read the original project, even if you read the book, it's different. And this just fills in so many gaps. No people had a greater claim to the American flag than we do.
My sit down with Nicole Hannah-Jones happened here in downtown LA at the Grammy Museum. You'll see here, black music is American music, touching on just another aspect of how black American history is our entire country's history.
You are calling for reparations. What is the total that would be owed?
$14 trillion.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
Big debt, though. You can look at the capitalism episode, and what it shows is the legacy of slavery hurts black people the most, but it actually hurts all Americans. There are millions of white Americans who also don't have access to health care. There are millions of white Americans, and actually more white Americans, who live in poverty in the United States than black Americans. We just suffer disproportionately from poverty.
She says we all live in a harsher, more unjust, more unequal society because we haven't grappled with this legacy.
But there are millions of white Americans who struggle to make ends meet, even as they're working for corporations where low-wage workers are sending people to the moon, right? So it's not just black people who are suffering from this.
Hannah-Jones says she has worked on nothing but the 1619 Project since she pitched the idea 4 years ago this month, telling me these 6 episodes of television will help us all better understand the things that we're seeing in America right now.
I feel so extremely proud of what we've produced and that we've been able, I hope, to do work that honors our ancestors.
Such a great conversation with her. And, you know, this is just part 1 of our 2-part series with Nicole Hannah-Jones. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back with part 2, where she responds head-on to a lot of the criticism that's kind of been pushed upon the 1619 Project. A couple of things, though, that, one, I think I just really love the point that black history is American history.
Yeah.
Black
Right.
American history is American history. And also, you know, when we talk about America, the superpower, the fact is, it's an ugly fact, but the fact is America is the superpower that it is today globally because it got a 400-year head start by stealing human beings and forcing them into labor.
Yeah.
And how can, it almost seems, you know, it makes total sense that every aspect of life is affected by that.
And I think when you watch the docuseries, you also see, too, that the traffic system, the way the streets were built in this country.
Yeah.
And also, you know, we
Where
learn...
black communities are.
That's right. We learn about the Mayflower in you know, in the history books, but we don't know about the White Lion, which was the first ship that came to Virginia with 20 to 30 enslaved African people. We don't know about that, and this gives us some insight into that through the work that she has done, really courageously as well.
It's a part of our country's history that we cannot ignore ever. ever.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's important. It's important to learn about it.
Yes.
I think
yes.
all aspects of our history. The ugly parts, they matter, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it addresses that question, too, for people that might be out there watching going, why do I need to know about this? Why does this apply to me? When you watch the documentary, you will see why it's important that we all know collectively this history.
And that was another point that she touched on there, and how, like, hey, this also doesn't just affect black people.
That's right.
It hasn't just changed the world that black Americans live in, because we do all live in this world.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Brooke. Powerful
Yeah, you're welcome.
conversation. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.